Hey everybody, it's Matt, and I'm here with my good friend and colleague Matías Inzunza, and we're going to have a little conversation. And it's actually really a privilege to be here with you today because you're not always here, right? You're coming from Barcelona. What brings you to the city?
Yeah, well, okay, this time because it's actually my fifth time here in the city. I really love New York, by the way. So this time I came for play some concerts. The first one was in the 33 hotel in Seaport, in this beautiful plucked horizons cycle, and that was great. And then of course with you at the Broken Classical Guitar Society, and then I had some group news as well. So that was the reason why I'm here.
Yeah, so the Seaport concert, this is in the city. I believe it's the third Thursday of the month. Really great concert series run by Nicoletta Tedesco. Highly recommend checking it out, Plucked Horizons. Shout out to Nikki. And then, group music concerts. Those are like real intimate house concerts for classical music. How have you enjoyed group music? Because I don't think they have that in Barcelona yet. How have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, well, I think that group music is like the greatest idea, you know, just having classical music in these small places, intimate places like a house. And for me, it's something very new because we don't have that in Barcelona. And I think this is so good for the classical guitar, having that opportunity to bring classical music to, you know, these small spaces, and not just the big halls and venues. So yes, for me it's a pleasure, and I feel so lucky to have the opportunity to play in these places. So last night was the last one, and it was great. So nice people, then some hanging out, and it's just great. It feels like a very familiar, safe place.
Yeah, the ethos of group music is something that we value a lot, like, an intimate setting, community gathering, and like a world-class musician in your living room or space or something like that. It's really kind of something when you're at one of those concerts too, as an audience member, you're, sitting in someone's living room, maybe having some snacks or a glass of wine or something, and like there's someone, an incredible musician, not 6 feet away from you, just doing their thing. So it's really a different experience, and something we try to do with Brooklyn Classical Guitar too, with the venues that we have now, more of an intimate setting for the guitar. Now, Matías was here actually for our 2023 season closing event concert at the Aikido of South Brooklyn, owned by BKCGS co-founder Josh Paul. And Matías presented a wonderful program of music that was all programmed after a story by Jorge Luis Borges. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm really into literature, and I love Borges. So yes, I just did this program thinking about this short story called Asterion, and it's about the Minotaur, stuck in this labyrinth. And it's a very beautiful and sad story, and I always, I'm such a fan of Borges, and this idea just came to my mind, like what can I do with this story? And because I'm a classical guitarist, so I just thought about making this program after this short story. And I really love, in a way, just share this like storytelling like program with people. I think it's something good for everyone. Like, it's not just the music itself, but it's about a story, So and playing there in this Aikido place was so fun, and it was great, sharing the program, sharing my love for Borges and the music, of course. So I have, good memories.
Yeah, I remember these. I have one of your book. I just remembered I have one of the booklets here.
Yeah.
I see that in the camera now. It's a little too much.
Yeah, that's Asterion. Yeah, Asterion.
But yeah, I remembered I had one of the really special program booklets that Matías made up, and there were pictures in there, explanations of some of the story, along with the pieces that went along with the different chapters. And yeah, just to kind of have that connection, what I think is so cool about an idea like that is you can hear a piece of music for guitar, another instrument, something that you've heard before, but in that context, it's totally different. You're thinking of something, and that's what a lot of people I remember told us after something like that. And also, that's something that I know Matías is very, very good with, because this isn't the first time you've done a program like this, right? I mean, maybe the first time you've done something with Borges, but I know definitely not the first time you've done programmatic music or a program like that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you as an artist. Like, tell us a little bit about Matías.
Of course, yeah. Well, in this case, talking about the programs, I started doing this programmatic thing maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and the first one was about Japanese music, and it was actually related with some Borges stuff. So I called the program Jardines que se bifurcan, after I think in English it's like Forked Gardens or something like that. It was after a Borges short story as well, but then I did the program after a novel, by Céline, the French writer, and it was the Journey Through the End of the Night. So, maybe you remember that, yeah. Yeah. So yes, I mean it's something that I'm interested because I love literature, of course, and for me always music. It has to be related with the other arts, of course, for me. And I think that this story is just maybe an 8 years old story with playing with the programs. Before I just do the regular things like historical program or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think it's really important, especially as there's so many guitarists and musicians, and in New York City there's tons of musicians. In Barcelona there's tons of musicians. So finding different ways to kind of offer something new and fresh. You win, it's fun to play, audiences win, it's really enjoyable. And you're not only someone that we've had on our concert series roster to close out our last season, but also you're a valued BKCGS member. And as Matías was saying earlier this month, we also had our first annual members concert, so it was real great to have you on the program sharing some music. So tell us a little bit about your experience with working with Brooklyn Classical Guitar, because now at this point you've played a concert for us, you've seen our community kind of as part of our group, which is something that's unusual. I think it's not really in my experience, it's not usual that like an artist is also coming out and hanging out with the group and not performing as a main act. So it's really cool for us to see you be part of that community as well. Everyone knows you, and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, for me, almost everything about the Brooklyn Classical Guitar Society is special, and but in a good way, of course, and it's. I think that you're really doing a great job, and for me. For example, last Saturday when we were playing all together, the mix of amateur musicians, professionals, and people that just love the guitar, all in the same place, just sharing this moment, is great. And for me, it's very, I don't know, because I'm not, from here, but it's very like Brooklyn-like vibes, very creative, very chill in a good way. And the experience was amazing. I really loved it. Like being there, playing, hanging with another colleagues, and then just with people who loves music, and in a very familiar environment, and it felt just great, man. Really, I really love. And even though I'm in Barcelona, because I'm far away from here, and maybe someone can say something like, what is this guy doing? You know, is this member of the Brooklyn Classical Guitar Society living in Barcelona? But for me, it's a way of supporting this idea, just because I think this is the way it has to be. Like, as classical guitarists, we need ideas or like this, you know, because, you know, being close to people, to audience, creating new audience, all that stuff is so important. So for me, it's an honor and it's a pleasure, and I hope that I can, you know, come back soon, because I really, I feel so happy to have the opportunity of playing and being here around.
Yeah, well, we're lucky you're a part of our group, and you know, we thank you so much for your music, and also for your time today and talking with me, of course. Everyone, you can find more out. Yeah, you can find more about Brooklyn Classical Guitar at bkcgs.org. We're also on social media, at the BKCGS on Facebook. Matías, where can we find out more about you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Matías Inzunza Guitar, and of course I have a YouTube channel as well, and we can just, you know, keep in touch. So I'll be waiting for you to follow me, and I will follow you back, of course.
Also very rare these days, but but anyways, thank you so much for your time, and we can't wait for you to be back in the city, and or maybe I'll come visit you in Barcelona soon. Let's do it.
I'm waiting for that.
It's done. We're doing it. All right, thank you.